Hi everyone, welcome back to Mechatronics Lab. Today we'll perform second experiment in part B, that is devise a timing circuit for switch on and switch off a output device using PLC. This experiment contains objective of this experiment and then theory behind this experiment, that is introduction about timers and how it will work and different types of timers, and then we will see ladder diagram to switch on and switch off a output using timer, and then we will see what is the procedure to build a ladder diagram in software and how to download it into the PLC to simulate, and then I will show downloading and simulation of this ladder diagram in PLC. Finally, we will discuss with result. First, we will see what is the objective to perform this experiment. The objective is to devise a timing circuit that will switch on for 20 seconds and then switch it off. Means here we have to construct a ladder diagram in such a way that it should switch on a output for 20 seconds and then it has to be switched off automatically without using any switch. Before going to perform the experiment, we will see some theory about timer. Means what is timer, how it will function, and what are the different types of timers, and what are the instruction bits you are using in a timer. What is timer? The timer is a circuit which is internal to the PLC, and these timers are provide timed control of the devices that they activate or deactivate. Means these timers will give a timed control to the output devices to activate or deactivate after a predetermined time, and these timers are used to delay an action. It may be action, it may be a on or off action. Totally it will delay an action after a preset time, and these are used to run an operation for a predetermined period of time, and also used to record total accumulated time of continuous or intermediate events. It will record the total time to taken for the continuous or intermediate events, and this timer consists 4 parts. This is a figure of or symbol of timer we are using in a ladder diagram, and this timer consists the following parts. They are timer address, timer base, preset value, and accumulated value. We will discuss in detail in the upcoming slides. First, we will see what is timer address. The timer address will give you, it is a number, it will give the address of the timer, where it is located, and the time base, it will give the interval on which it is based, whether it is based on a seconds or it is based on a milliseconds, or whether it is based on a microseconds, like that. And the preset value gives how long the timer should time. Means it is a set time. Means preset time gives after this preset time the action will be taken place, whether it is a on action or off action. The accumulator gives the current time value of the timer. In detail we will discuss later. Next, the timer have different instruction bits. Each timer instruction has 3 status bits. They are enable bit, timer timing bit, that is we call TT bit, and done bit, that is timer done bit. We will discuss next. First we will see what is the timer address, how to represent in a ladder diagram. The timer address identifies the timer and the location of the timer information. Example, if you want to represent a timer, we are using a T4:1. Here T4 gives the timer address. Means it identifies the which timer we are using and location of the timer. Here T represents timer, 4 represents location where it is in a PLC, and colon, this is a separator, and 1 represents number of timers we are using in a particular ladder diagram. If you are using a 2 timers in that program, means for first timer we are using T4 colon 1, for second timer we have to use T4 colon 2, means this 1, 2 etc. will give the how many timers we are using, and T4 give the timer address. Like this we can address. See here, this is the timer on delay. Here the timer is T4 colon 1. Next we will see time base. The time base will give the duration of the time base interval. The time is incremented in seconds. While operation, the timer will count the time. The timer base means on which basis it is counting, whether it is a second or minutes or hour basis or millisecond basis or microsecond basis. That will give in time base. Here we are representing 1.0, means here the time base is in seconds. If you want to time base is in milliseconds, means 0.1, 0.001, like that you have to represent. Here we are using time base in seconds, that's why we are putting 1.0. Next we will see preset. Preset value determines the amounts of the time that must pass to activate the done bit. Means that preset value will give after how much time it has to be activate or deactivate the output, means that will give by preset value. Here we are taking a 10, means 10 seconds, means when we switch on a output, after 10 seconds the output will be switched on or switched off if it is timer off delay, means that will give determines the amounts of the time that must pass to activate the done bit. Next, accumulator. We are represented accumulator by using SSU UM. This is the last one. It starts with 0, means it will accumulator will increments in units of time base, means while the timer is in timing mode, when the timer is in true mode or in timing mode, the accumulator increments in units of time base. Here the unit of time base is seconds, means it will start time with 1, 2, 3 like that up to 10 seconds. Once it reaches the preset value, it will enable the done bit. Next we will see the instructions bits. First instruction bit is the enable bit that are represented by using EN. It will set when the run conditions are true. Enables bit will set always when the run conditions are true until it will be set only until that run condition go false. Once it is set when it true, means it will remains set until the condition goes to false, and the true when timer input is true. Another condition is it will true when the input is true. Next bit is done bit, or we are called a DN bit. It will be true when the accumulated time equals the preset time. Until that it is false, means when the accumulated value is 0, preset value is 10, means the done bit is false. The done bit will be true when the accumulated time reaches to final value, that is preset value. Means in this condition the accumulated value is greater than or equal to preset value, means done bit will be enabled when the accumulated value greater than or equal to preset value. Until that it has false only. It will set when the run conditions are true and remain so until run conditions go false. This is a done bit. Next we will see timer timing bit, that is TT bit. It is true while the accumulator is incrementing. The done bit is true when the accumulator value reaches the final value, but here it is TT bit is true while the accumulator is incrementing. That means when the timer starts counting. Means here the timer timing bit is true until the accumulated value reaches to preset value. The done bit will true when the accumulated value reaches the preset value. Here TT bit will true until the accumulated value reaches to the preset value, and it will set run condition are false, remain so until run conditions are go true when the done bit is reset. Here the condition is false, then it will true until when the done bit is reset. I will explain this TT bit and done bit and difference between these two bits with an example. These are the two rung or ladder diagram to differentiate the done bit and timer bit. Here we are taking a simple example. The motor will start when the input switched on. Means in between motor and input we are inserted a timer on delay. Means when we use the done bit, the motor will on after a delay of 50 seconds. Means here delay we are giving 50 seconds, that is preset value is 50. Once the input is closed, that is switched on, the timer will be starts counting, and at that time motor is off only. When the timer starts counting and accumulated value reaches 50, this done bit enabled, because we are using done bit enabled. That time this contact will be closed and the motor is switched on. But for this same example, if you use the TT bit, here the motor is initially immediately switched on when the switch button, input button is switched on only, and it will switch on until the accumulated value reaches the preset value, that is 50 seconds. Once after reaches 50 seconds, the motor will be switched off. That is, see here, if you use done bit, the motor will on after a delay of 50 seconds. The value of accumulated reaches 50 seconds. If you use TT bit in the same program, the motor will on immediately up to 50 seconds. After 50 seconds, it will switch it off. See here, the motor will on immediately after switching on the input. It will off when the value of accumulated reaches 58. In done bit, the output will on once the accumulated value reaches to the 50 second. In TT bit, the output will on immediately and it will remains on up to the accumulated value reaches 50 seconds. That is the difference. Means the done bit initially is in false state and it will true when the accumulated value reaches preset value. In TT bit, initially it is false and it will goes to true when it is reaches to the preset value. Next we will see different types of timers. We have three types of timers. One is timer on delay and timer of delay and retentive timer. First we will see what is timer on delay. This can be called as TON, and here it will counts the time based intervals when the instruction is true. The timer on delay, the timer will counts the intervals, that is accumulated value starts counting when the instruction is true, and when the timer input is activated, there is a delay equal to the preset time. I have explained in previous, the motor will on only when the preset accumulated value reaches preset value. Means that is the condition. Here when the timer input is activated, there is a delay equal to the preset value before the done bit changes from 0 to 1. Initially the done bit is 0, it will changes to 0 to 1 when the accumulated value equal to the preset value. That one here we are telling DN is true when the accumulated is equal to preset. And this is the timing diagram. See here, this is the input, this is the output. We are giving input here itself. The input is true here itself, but it will output will switch on after a delay of this time. This we call on delay. Means actually it has to be switch on here, but we are setting a time of preset value that will switch on after a preset value. That is the output. See here, if the input condition is true, then the timer begins. See, this is most important. Timer on delay. In timer on delay, the timer begins counting when the input condition is true only, and when the preset time has been reached, the output turns on. Preset time reach ಆದಮೇಲೆ output on ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. If the input condition goes false at any stage, the timer stops and the output turns off as well. In between, if the condition goes false at any stage, the timer stops and the output turns off as well. Next we will see timer of delay. Here the counts time based intervals when the instruction is false. In timer on delay, the timer will count intervals when the instruction is true, but in off delay it will count the intervals when it is false. And when the timer input is activated, done bit 0 to 1 immediately. There in timer on delay, the done bit will change from 0 to 1 after it reaches to the preset value, but here the done bit will immediately change from 0 to 1, and when the timer input is deactivated, the accumulator begins incrementing and there is a delay equal to preset time. The done bit changes back to 0. Here initially itself the done bit changes from 0 to 1 immediately. After a preset time it will change back to 0 once again, and the done bit is true until accumulator is equal to preset value. In timer on delay, the done bit is true when accumulator is equal to preset, but until accumulator is equal to preset, the done bit is true. Once it is equal to the accumulator is equal to preset, the done bit is false. And this is a timing diagram. This is a timer of delay. Here see, input to your game, actually the output should be switched off here, but we are giving a delay. After a delay of preset time, it will switch it off. And if the input condition is true, then the output time turns on. Condition true agidre maatra output to turn on agutte. And then if the input condition is goes false, the timer begins. In timer on delay, the input condition goes true, the timer begins. But here, if condition goes false, the timer begins. When the preset time has been reached the output, it will turns off. Preset time reach at that output to off agutte. If the input condition goes true at any stage, the timer stops and output turns on as well. This is a timer on delay and timer off delay. Next we will see third type of timer, that is retentive timer. We are called it as a RTO. The retentive timer is a timer which retains the accumulated value in case of power loss, change of processor mode, or run state going from true to false. If anything happens due to power loss or due to some error or whatever it may be, the accumulated value remains same with the previous value only. But in timer on delay or timer off delay, it will reset to 0, but here it will start from previous value. That is retentive timer. Retentive timer can be used to track the running time of a motor for its maintenance purpose, and each time the motor is turned off, the timer will remember the motor's elapsed running time in previous cases before it has to be stopped due to other reasons. This is a retentive timer. Otherwise, this is same as timer on delay. Next we will see the rung diagram for this one. Before that, for demonstrating this problem using a timer, one push button and electric bulb is used as an output. And to construct the ladder diagram, we have used 3 normally open contacts, that is NO contacts, and 1 coil and 1 timer. We have used 1 timer that is of a on delay, because here we can use the timer on delay as a for switched off purpose or switched on purpose by changing the bits, either done bit or TT bit. Next we will see the ladder diagram. This is the ladder diagram to switch on a output for 20 seconds, then it is to be off first. See, our aim is to switch on a bulb up to 20 seconds. Once after 20 seconds, the bulb should be off automatically. For that, we are using a 1 input contact, that is normally open contact, and 1 output, that is coil. In between these two, we are inserted a timer, because we want a timer here, because to switch off or switch on after a predetermined time. Here our aim is to, when we switched on a bulb, it should be on up to 20 seconds. After 20 seconds, it should be off only. For that, we are using a timer on delay with TT bit. Here, how it will work? When you switch on this bit close, when you switch it on, this contact will be closed and timer starts counting, because here we are using a TT bit, and this will close and the output electric bulb will be turned on. Once the accumulated value reaches preset value, this closed contact will be open and the electric bulb will be switched off. automatically. And here for input we are branching in another open contact with an address of timer timing for a latching purpose, because once we switched on a push button, if you release, the output will be switched off because the power will be lost, but it should be remains until unless another input should be supplied to switched off. For that we are latching a output. Here output is a first rung, output is a timer. We are latching that into a input. See here, see once again I will tell you. First, when you switched on a input, the bulb will be on immediately and it will remains on up to accumulated time reaches to preset value. Once it reaches to preset value, the bulb will be off automatically because we are using TT bit. Here if instead of TT bit we are using DN bit, means the working is reverse. If you use DN bit, if you switch it on up to 20 seconds, it will be off. After 20 seconds, it will be on. But we want it will on first, then it has to be switched off after a predetermined time. That's why we are using TT bit. And to construct this, we have a procedure. We'll see. First, we have to prepare a general description of automized process to operate. First, we have to description. We have to see what we have to use, what are the notations we have to use to automate the process. Means here automate the process means we have to automatically, it has to be switched off after a predetermined time. First, we have to identify the hardware requirements. What are the inputs and what are the outputs we are required, and you have to create a logic or ladder diagram. And then you have to enter this ladder diagram into the programming device using RSLogix 500 software by opening by clicking on this icon. And then you have to confirm input output addresses. You have to give input and output addresses, and then you have to verify the program if for the syntax error. If any syntax error is there, you have to troubleshoot, and then you have to save the program in the required path. Then you have to download it into the PLC. To download, you have to configure that PLC into the software by using RS links. Then you have to wire all input and output connection into the PLC. Then you have to download the program into the PLC, and you have to check the desired outputs by giving a required inputs. Next, we will see how to create this ladder diagram in RSLogix 500, how to configure and how to download it into the PLC and how to test it. First, I will show how to create a new ladder program using RSLogix 500. For that, you have to open a RSLogix 500 starter by clicking on this icon. The software will open by default with this window. Next, go to File, New to create a new project. Select a PLC, that is MicroLogix 1000. OK. By default, it will open with end rung. Then we have to decide how many rungs we require. Here, other than end rung, we require 2 rungs. For that, click on this. Click on new rung in user and add 2 rungs. Go to first rung, then add contacts. One open contact we are required to connect a input switch. Then one timer we required at the end of this one. Click on timer on delay. Go to timer and counter. Select timer. Click on that. It will add it. Address it. T4:1. It is a timer address. Then time base is by default 1. The preset value is 20 seconds. Only timer and preset value should be changed. After go to second run, you have to add one more open contact to give the timer address, and then at the end you have to add coil in the second run. Click on a coil in a user panel, CAD, and one more input open contact is required to latch the input For that, go to user panel, add rung branch and drag it wherever it requires and select the trunk branch and click on the open contact to be added. It has been added. Once after adding the elements and rungs, you have to give the address for input and output. First, I will give the address for input. To address the input, you have to start with click and double click. Type I:0.0 is the same for all inputs slash. You have to give bit number to where we are connecting in a PLC. We are connected to the first bit. Enter. This is a push button type. Give a description. Button 1 and give the symbol as PB_1. Okay. It has been completed. And give the address to this one. This is we are calling as a latching. We are giving the address of the timer, that is T4:1/TT. Okay. Then you have to give the address this one. Here also same T4. This contact will be operate based on the timer state :1/TT. We are using TT bit here, that's why we are typing TT, and then give the address to the output, that is O:0.0. This is same for all output address slash. Here the output coil is connected to the first bit in a PLC type 1. Okay, this is connected to the electric bulb for demonstration. Okay. Once after completing, verify the file. Verified. If no error, the EE will go off. This will check and the compile and the program is correct. I will explain how it will work. First, when you push the input button, it will close and timer starts counting. Here we are using TT bit. TT bits will true when the accumulated value is less than or equal to preset value. That's why it will true means it will close immediately after switching on a input button and the electric bulb will be on, and it will on up to accumulated value is equal to the preset value, and when it reaches the preset value, that is 20 seconds, the TT bit goes to false and it will open and the electric bulb will be off. Like this it will be open. If you use DM bit instead of TT bit means the bulb will be on after 20 seconds. Initially it is off, then after reaches the preset value it will be on. But if you use TT bit, initially it will on up to 20 seconds, then it will switch off. Here we require to achieve the objective. First the electric bulb will be on up to 20 seconds, then it has to be switched off. For that we are using TT bit. This latching we are provided because we are using push button. If you press and release, the output will be closed if you are not using latching, but it has to be on up to another intervention of switch is coming. For that we are latch the timing. Until this condition is true, the output remains on. This is the program. Next we have to save this program in a required path. Save and select a path and give, that is experiment number 2. Save it. Once it has saved, we have to download this program into the PLC and we have to test it. This timing circuit can be downloaded into the PLC and I will show how it will work. And here we are using one open contact that is connected to push button 1 and one timer we are using, that is timer on delay, and this timer on delay we are using timer timing instructions. This timer timing instruction is true until the accumulated value is equal to the preset value. Once the accumulated value is reaches to preset value, the time this bit will goes false. At that time the electric bulb will be switched off. Now I will show how to configure first, then I will show how to download and how to test it in a PLC. To configure this one, first you have to connect the PLC into the programming device through RS-232 cable and then switch it on the PLC. Once it is switched on, we will move on to the programming device and open the RS Link software and configure it. For that, go to configure drivers, and already it is configured. I will show by deleting it. Now I will show how to configure by new one. Select RS-232 different devices, click on add. By default it will select the driver, click on OK. Select the communication port. Here we are using communication port 1, that is COM1. Select that one and remaining fields should be unchanged. Then click on auto configure. It will check the everything is okay. It will give successful. If it gives error or failed, we have to check the connections and then you have to reconfigure. Once it is successful, click on OK. See, the driver has been configured and status is showing running. Then click on close and we can check which device is added in communication RSU. Here the ABDFN driver, under this driver the workstation and both PLC both are configured. Click OK, and now you have to download this program. For downloading, go to communication, click on download, click on OK, click on S. It will ask run mode, S. Next, now it is downloading. See, now status is offline. Once status is, then click on run mode. Once download is completed, this status is goes to remote run mode. Now see, the status is changes from offline to remote run, hence the program is downloaded. Now I will show how to test it on a PLC. See, this is a PLC. We are here electric bulb we are using an output. We have to connect that electric bulb into the output, that is bit 1. Here the electric bulb is connected to the PLC output, and now the input push button 1 here, this one here you are using. When you press it on this one, the bulb will be on for 20 seconds. After 20 seconds it will automatically off, because we are added in between input and output. In between we are adding timer on delay with timer timing bit. If you are use done button, this done instruction, this is the DN bit, the bulb will be off for first 20 seconds, then it will on, but in timer timing it will reverse. See, I will check. When you press it on, the output will on for 20 seconds. Here the timer starts counting time. The preset is time, the accumulated time starts from 0. When accumulated time is reaches to 20, the bulb will be automatically off. You observe here. Now the time reaches the 20 seconds, the bulb will automatically off. Again, now the accumulated time is reset to 0. Now I will show you once again. When you press on an input button, the bulb is on, the accumulated time starts incrementing. It reaches 20, the bulb will be off. So it will on for 20 seconds, then it will switch off. See, now like this we can use the timers to delay an action, to activate or deactivate with a different types of bits, either done bit or timer timing bits. Thank you.
ಗ್ಯಾಲರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ
ಆಫ್ ಆಗಿರಲ್ಲ.
ಈಗ ಮತ್ತೆ
Next we will see the result of this experiment. The result is the above timing circuit is constructed using ladder programming and the result is verified in PLC. The result is, if PB push button 1 is pushed, the electric bulb will glow for 20 seconds and after this period it goes off. This is a result. Thank you.